I'd like to invite all of you to close your eyes. Do it, seriously. Picture the most beautiful person you know. Maybe it's your best friend, one of your children, or for you lucky husbands out there, maybe it's your wife on their wedding day. Visualize them in as much detail as you can. Their hair, the color of their eyes, the way that they laugh. You got it? Okay. Open your eyes for me. Now I'd like to show you what I see when I try to visualize, well, anything. That's right. I see nothing but black. If I close my eyes as tight as I can and try to picture my beautiful son or daughter on the day that they were born, or one of my grandparents before I lost them, or even the beach on a sunny day, I don't see anything. That's because I have aphantasia, which means I have a blind mind's eye. My brain is unable to form pictures. I didn't know my brain was different than anybody else's until I was about 40. I was scrolling through my phone in bed one night, as we all do, right? When I saw an article on aphantasia, and I turned to my husband, who was starting to fall asleep next to me, and I said, "Can you picture things in your mind?" He bolted upright out of sleep, completely incredulous. "Can you not?" We couldn't stop talking about it for weeks. That's the thing about neurodiversity. It affects us every day without us even knowing it. Our brains impact absolutely everything about the way we experience the world. How we communicate, how we learn, how we socialize, even who we fall in love with. We have 86 billion neurons that fire in our brain. 86 billion. To put that in context, the most sophisticated artificial intelligence in the world today can only simulate about 2 billion. That's how complicated the human brain is. About 80% of us are neurotypical, meaning our brains work roughly like everybody else's. 20% of us are what's called neurodivergent, meaning that our brains work so far outside the box that we put a name on it, or even a diagnosis. 20% is 1 in 5. Statistically, that means in this beautiful theater of about 300 people, 60 of us are neurodivergent. And yet we talk about it so very little. I had never heard the word neurodiversity until these little fellas came into my life. I know, they're beautiful. The handsome fella in the blue blanket, Towley, is neurotypical. The beautiful boy in the white blanket, Shauka, was diagnosed as autistic when he was 5 years old. Looking back now, I realize his brain was unique from the day he was born. He cried and cried and cried relentlessly, even as an infant. I would have to swaddle him as tight as I could, rock him back and forth in a way that felt almost too rough, and shh, to give him the white noise to fall asleep. He was pre-verbal until he was 7 years old, which means we had some tough years together, he and I. Him struggling to communicate his needs, and me feeling like an utter failure as a mom. We went through 7 diagnoses and a slew of doctors, neuropsychologists, therapists, and other well-meaning professionals telling me all about his problems, his deficits, what he couldn't do, and what he might never do. Would you like to know the conclusion that I came to? Yes. Screw that. My son was, and is, capable of absolutely anything he puts his mind to, if he is given the right supports. Today, he is a thriving freshman at Mundelein High School in 3 honors classes with a great group of friends. He memorizes the birthday of absolutely everyone he meets. He is brilliant and kind and hilarious. And he changed the way I look at the world. He inspired me to see people's potential rather than their limitations. And he opened my eyes to the wide world of neurodiversity. And I began to see it like stars lighting up in the night sky one at a time. I could see it in my family and in my friends, and I could even see it at work. 3 years ago, I became CEO of a tech company called Aspiritech. We're pretty awesome at what we do, which is quality assurance, data services, cybersecurity, accessibility testing, all sorts of nerdy stuff. And it's all done by a team that is 90% autistic adults. 90%. From entry-level positions all the way up to 2/3 of our executive leadership team, this group of people shows me and the world what autistic people are capable of in a workplace that values them. A Harvard Business Review study shows that autistic team members are 150% more productive than their neurotypical peers when paired with work that matches their skill set. Shocker. That same study shows that autistic people are 40% faster at problem solving. These are strengths, not weaknesses. And isn't that true of all of us? Aren't we our best when we lean into our strengths rather than focusing on our weaknesses? That is not to say that all autistic people are the same. When I think about my 100 colleagues at Aspiritech, I don't think about autistic people. I think about the individuals and colleagues who helped me build this company. I think about Lauren, whose clients are nearly obsessed with our innate ability to spot and solve problems. I think about Eitan, a poet who writes so beautifully about what it means to be human. I think about Leah, who sees music dancing as colors in front of her eyes, giving her perfect pitch. And then there's me. Why did I begin today by telling you about my weird brain? It's because I think it's often hardest to be kind to ourselves. I beat myself up for years for what my brain couldn't do. Catch a ball, for example. I could not, for the life of me, figure out why the coaches were saying, visualize it coming into your hands. But the truth is, my brain makes me, me, in all my wildly imperfect glory. I'm a human, just like all of us, with strengths and weaknesses. We are neurotypical, and we are autistic, and we are ADHD, and we are OCD, and we are dyslexic, and we are introverts, and we are extroverts. And we are valuable. So I ask you to come into the wide, awe-inspiring world of neurodiversity that my son opened up to me. Honor the differences in our beautiful, incredible brains. How boring would the world be if we were all the same? Ask people, what do you need to be your best self? You don't need to know anyone's diagnosis to simply say, how can I support you? And remember, it's all so much simpler than it seems. At Aspiritech, we regularly survey our team members to ask them what they need to be successful in the workplace. And time again, the same response rises above all the rest. It's not headphones. It's not work from home. It's kindness. That's simple. Kindness. See people for their potential, not their limitations. See that all brains are complex and unique, and yes, brilliant. All brains are brilliant.